Pretty much the colours we used last week. If you haven't got any of that, let me know. Right, so we've all pretty much got to sort of here. It's all dry, lovely. Right. Let's do the dark thing first. Let's do the dark brush bit first. When you're making something very, very thin, and you want it to stay really, really thin, synthetic brushes are the things to go. So shadows, this flat piece, I know it's on the little one, but we put ours in really, really brown, as I said to you. But we're going to go over that with a darker colour now and make it fall back into the background, because it's actually the lack of light cutting through that that's good. Okay, so you mix together. Prime your brush with a bit of liquid original. Yep. And just priming the brush with liquid original. This is a synthetic brush. If you don't have a synthetic, don't worry about it. We'll work. It's fine. It'll be fine. Just a little bit harder because hog hair brushes have got bristles and they drag and things, which is fantastic for building up texture. But when you want to lay a shadow back and make it disappear, then the synthetics, the really, really soft brushes, are very handy. Phthalo green. Yeah, in there, phthalo green. And you can see it goes quite transparent very, very fast. But if you mix alizarin crimson, which is another transparent paint, it goes black. About 50-50, I would keep it on the green side just a little more. It'll be a greener black rather than a redder black. Yeah? And I'm going to drop that right where this puddle is. Right? So phthalo green, alizarin crimson mixed together, make black. Just have a little bit more green in there. We're keeping it really thin. Really thin. We just want to glaze over with this. There's no thickness to this paint at all. And I'm going to drag it straight down where that tree is. There we go. Just where that tree is. I'm not right up on the top of the brush. I'm all the way down the back of it. There we go. Wherever I think that tree is, it might need some touching up the edges. There we go. Lovely. There we go. Absence of light right there. If you manage to do something odd with the shadow, this is where you can correct it. You're just trying to mirror whatever you did with the tree above. There we go. Doesn't have to be perfect. We're gonna be brushing over this a little bit in a minute. And there's a dark ridge, so I'm putting the darks in today, right there where this water's edge is. Trying to keep it there you go. Where that water meets the shadow in there. There we go. Right, it's casting a shadow as well. Where the light isn't, you can see to the bottom of the lake here. Yep, now I'm going to touch some of the bits up where I missed the canvas last week. I'm just going to bring that dark in at the bottom. Is that coming through? Can you see that on this one? Just about. There we go. Very dark in the bottom, in the corners, just in case we didn't get to that bit. I thought we did, but let's just make sure you've got yours. Right, I'm now going to add a minute amount of titanium white to that. Minute amount. Tiny amount. I'm just going to knock it down a tiny amount. Real careful with that. I just want it dark but desaturated by using the white. There's the two colours. There's black almost. Well, it is. And then a slightly off grey or green or black. And I'm going to put in the back of this bank, just in case you didn't put the back of this bank in. There we go. Because I missed it. Wasn't until I got home when I saw it, I went, oh, I missed it. That's okay. Plenty of time. Just want all that bit there dark. If it isn't dark enough, you go even darker by using the black. Just a bit, it will mix in with those two. Doesn't matter if you cross over that line, we'll be doing that again in a second. We texturized some of this last week, if you remember. If not, the video's available. That's a handy thing to say, so I like that. Yep. How's that? You alright? Still with me? That wasn't too hard, was it? Wasn't too bad. That's it. Just if you've made some holes in your canvas, I'm just kind of cover them up a little bit. There you go, especially around the edges. I want it nice and dark at the corners. Don't want to see any of that canvas through there. Good. I'm going to show you techniques today that you can go home and keep playing with. That's the idea. Because I think the little one of this took a hell of a lot longer than 5 hours, and that's all we've got to do this on. So, right, taking a step back and having a look. Okay, I'm now going to throw into that grey mix that we saw, that green-grey mix we made, a little bit of the cad yellow. Yep, cad yellow, bit of cad yellow into that mix we just had. And I'm not destroying that colour because I might need it again. Might. You never know. Doesn't matter. You know how to make it now. You know how to make it now. Yep, bit of titanium white, just to lighten it or desaturate it. That's the right one. There we go. And this pale colour, will sit on this area here. There's light coming in there. Let's find out if it's the right colour. It needs to be lighter than what you put down. And there's so leave some of the colour and then drop this new colour in there. If that makes any sense at all. I am making, so out of that blue-grey we had, this green, alizarin crimson, phthalo green, and white made a sort of greyer version of that, black. Then I put, to the next of it, I added some cadmium yellow, some titanium white. I made a very pastel, minty green. Yeah, just for the background, and it should be lighter than some of the colours we've already got on here. And if it isn't, add more white. If it isn't, add a bit more white. And I'm going to use the tips of this brush, and I'm going to try and put some of the, there's leaves in that water, and a bit of reflection, but mostly it's, I think it was leaves, just laying on the surface. Because it's so far away, it just looks like a mass of light shining on it. It's I'm not describing that very well. If anyone's got a better word for me, that would be good. it's debris floating on the water, right? It's leaves.
Yeah.
Yeah. There could be water lilies, absolutely. If you want water lilies in yours, you add them as well, because I can't see them. But I'm sure they're there. But there you go. A bit more white. So I'm just continually lightening that a little bit, just so that you can see it. And you just pull this in little places, just catching the canvas, really, really soft. Highlights where you think that sun is going to catch that water for you. So where there's a dark tree, if you manage to get some of this lighter, like really light green here, in here, I think it'll sparkle a bit for you. And then you're playing with that light versus dark play. That's nice. There we go. If you need to go to a smaller brush, you're more than welcome to. Yeah. I wouldn't go to your riggers just yet, but that's up to you, or your script liners, whatever you guys will use. And just keeping that level. There you go. Right, let's go for that script liner now. I was just talking about, let's play with that. Just while we're here in the water, we might as well. So one of them, yeah, one of these, that's a script liner, very, very thin, wispy brush. Yep, bit of liquid in there, and this time you're going to grab some of the impasto medium, if you want it. You're just going to mix that in there, get it on the brush, and then it will make the paint thicker. There we go. And I was going to put in some lovely yellow. I was just going to grab the bright yellow. Yeah, I know. Well, we're doing a lot of this here. Making a little point where you can flatten the brush out if you like. You can either flatten it out by rocking either by the side, and it becomes a very sharp brush. Or if you just roll it up, becomes a point again, and you can just put in some of the leaves that are getting really hit by the sun, just on top, because they're so far away and there's so many of them. This is just with yellow. Just with the yellow, yep. Cadmium yellow, they're very, very bright. We're just picking them up so the light hits them a bit more. Even add a bit of white to that, makes it even brighter. I'm just dragging that. There we go. There it goes. In a few patches, not too many of them. Where you think the sunlight is hitting there. If you've got the image, you can use that. There was, I had my drape of the willow tree coming down here, and he's actually touching the water. So around that, wherever that you think that's touching your water, I'm just going to do a few dots, just to show he's there. It'll remind me later what I've got to do with that. This is just yellow. This is cadmium yellow. Yeah, you can add a bit of white to it. Make it even bright if you like. Just a few more of those in the cadmium yellow and the bright titanium white version. It's about as close as we're going to get to white, I think. But a few dashes for now. Just where you think that sun is hitting, it's hitting in the middle of this pond a bit. When you go home, you can just keep going on this later, or tomorrow, or next week, or in 2 years' time, whatever you fancy. Yeah? Just a few dots. Oh, and here, there's another one. There's another one back here, where that hanging down branch is touching the water. It's going to break the water. There we go. Not too much, just a bit. But I don't want it just flat colour. So let's try, yep, little bit of the yellow ochre. Little bit of the yellow ochre. And I'm going to hit just a tiny amount, and I'm going to drag this brush this time. I'm going to drag this paw brush up. Some of this. There it is. I've got hair on mine, that doesn't help. Okay. I'm just going to drag it, just very up, holding it all the way back here. I'm going to drag it up the bar, just a little bit. This is yellow, yellow ochre, tiny amount of yellow ochre, and the burnt umber. Yeah. It's just slightly lighter than what we put down, and if I didn't make that clear enough, I'm going to add a bit of white. Let's try that. Maybe I'm not showing up enough. Maybe it's not dark enough for me yet. Maybe I haven't done it dark enough yet. You can do this with a rigger as well if you really want to texturise it even more. I just want him to show up a little bit more than I've got him. Or her. I don't know, trees don't have sex either, do they? They just are. Yeah. You can reshape that tree if you want. Yeah. Just trying to add some texture. Scoop it out a bit. You can just place that down. So wherever you think the shadow is going to be, and on this painting it really was at the front, it was the most dark, away from the light. There you go. Synthetic brush is better for this thing, but you can still do it. And keep those shadows just flatter here, so I'm going to knock those down. There. Knock it. Very, very dark this side, lighter this side. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Darker in the treetop, very much so. A bit of white to that. It's almost grey now, my brown. So let's light this back edge. And I'm just skimming that edge, and the paint's just falling off a little bit, catching it very gently, very gently. There we go. Picking up some of that texture at the bottom of the tree bark last time. Some rough lines in there, and you start seeing where that bark is. it's a bit light on the top, where that light's coming through, just a little bit. On that branch. It's your tree. While I've got that lighter thing on there, there's a background tree here I'd like to just put a lighter front on it right there. Just give them a little bit lighter, and that back one just a little bit less than that. Drag it around a little bit, maybe that will help, yeah. More tree-like. Final highlight on just that edge. I've got a very, very light grey now. Just mix white into our burnt umber, ultramarine blue colour. It's gone very, very light. I'm just going to touch that one more time, just on that back edge. Literally, I am just touching the paint. I just want to give that a little highlight, because I think it deserves it. It's been a good tree. Who let me in here? You asked me back. Twice. Yep, all good? Got a tree? Excellent. Let's cover the tree up now. Poor tree. So we did the background of the trees pretty much last time. Well, let's try putting in the highlights. First, we're going to need the fan brush. I'm going to keep that brush for later. I think we might need it here. Yeah, you got your fan brushes? Fan brushes. They're really good for this. Okay, should we do the orange first? Let's do some orange bits first. A little bit of liquid on that fan brush. A little bit. Just get it moving. Orange is a bit strong by itself, personally, I feel. So, I'm going to add some of the yellow to it. Let's have a look, let's have a go, let's see what happens. So a little bit of yellow in there, a bit more. Just a combination of the two, I won't mix them too much. It's fine, actually, don't mix them too much. Put some more yellow in there, put some more orange. There we go, now we've got rough mixed on the brush. And I'm holding it all the way back on the back of the handle. And there are some lovely orange branches, or we can see the insides of them maybe. And I'm just going to drag downwards like we did yesterday. And this gently should pick up the texture underneath that we put down, remember? Yeah? Remember this from last week? We put all this texture all over this. Yeah, we did. Yeah? And if you didn't do the texture, I'll show you how to do the texture real quick. I'm going to put some impasto medium in there as well this time. Right? And I am grabbing the colour, and I'm smashing the brush into the four palette. Just a little bounce. I just want the tips of this fan brush in there. And this is just for those people who didn't see it last week. Right? Or if you haven't got any texture on your thing, here might be the time to do it. Wherever you want things to come forward, you add texture to them. And with this brush that I just smashed into that, you put it on and you drop it down. Just like that. Then you've got little tiny bits just coming off of this in the paint. There we go. Little tiny bits. There we go. Look at that. Look at that. And if you've already got the texture on here to start with, it might hit the texture and leave the background for you, which will be lovely. It will make life so much easier for us. Because these leaves are all over the place, but they're basically hanging down a little bit. Right, so everyone else can pick up, everyone else who just wants to continue with this now. Grab your brush, smash that in there a little bit. And I need some orange and yellows through here. So just going to drag that down just a little bit, nice and soft. No real, I'm just picking up the texture. It's already on the canvas here because we put it on there. It bows over and then comes down. If you look at a lovely willow tree, they can't hold their own weight. They are forever splitting. They're doing all this marvellous stuff. They really are fantastic trees. Just don't stand under one in a windstorm because the tendency to break a lot. And I'm holding it right back. I'm just going to drag it down and it will pick up some of that lovely texture all by itself. How's that? Is that working for you? Is it? It is. There we go. See, this is it. This is the sneaky texture stuff. Just gently drag it down. Oh. As you come down to the bottom, change the angle of your brush. Do change the angle of your brush. Add a bit of white maybe. Yeah, that would be nice. Some orange. There you go, look. I've got a mixed brush. I'm not even going to really mix that. And then you just find a spot you like and then drag this down over the top. Where else are we on over here? Yeah, that'll be nice. Yeah. On the other side, I think the other side needs something. It's feeling left out. Because we run that brush down there last week, it's now got ridges, and it should really pick these up for us. We're just, maybe a bit strong, that's okay. Happy accidents and all that. Very, very bright hanging piece just here. A little bit thicker. Just there. And because he's there, he'll also be here, where we put him in the water. So, if you just pulled it down this way, you're now going to flip the brush over and pull it back the other way. Try not to hit the tree. So you can twist the brush. Yeah. Twist the brush. Try not to hit the tree, because it'll be lovely phthalo green in there. Let's put some more highlights because it's going to be lighter just here. So I'm going to pull these down in the water again. And because the water's dry, it's just going to pick up a few bits, just like that. There we go. Just a little bit. Wherever I think these are going to be coming down, so there's another bit here. Straight down on this one. I'm going to use the brush this way. There you go. Create some more vines if you like. Oh, I think this bit here is missing some. There we go. Put that down there. A little bit there. That'll be nice. And then it's got to go back in the water. So this is about here. I'm going to pull it upwards for that one. How's it going? Slowly, but surely you're getting there, right? A little bit more, a little bit in there if you haven't got enough, just a bit. Tiny amount. Pasto medium, just a bit in there as well. So wherever I drop that yellow, and there's a bit here. There we go. Let's drag that a bit down a bit more. to cover that trunk up that I don't like. There's a bit in it you don't like, this is a perfect way of getting rid of it. Should have a yellow bit here somewhere. Now I'm just going to pull up some of that vines right there. Just going to touch it underneath where it touches. There you are. I'm going to go along this time. And there's an arc in the bottom of this. Gently brush over it, it should pick up the texture. But in the bottom of this, turn the brush over and there's some of the streaks. Just some, you can put some white in that, make it a little bit lighter this time. Not too thick, just nice and gently on here. As long as the lines are coming vertical. Yep. Yep. Get them in verticals and our horizontals all mixed up again. That happens. Apparently it's an age thing. Get in there. None of you suffer from that, so it's all good. All good. There's a bit in there, I'm going to drop a bit more in there, more light. You can do this as we get closer and more fine detail. I know some of you like the fine detail. No? Nobody likes fine detail here? No? Oh, you do? Oh, okay, you are here, so that's good. I couldn't hear you. Good Lord. I thought I was going to turn into a children's entertainer and go, I can hear you, and that sort of thing. Oh, no, you didn't. Yeah. Yeah. Better go full panto on you. Right, so we've got this. Just drag. I'm using a few of the brushes here, just to highlight some of these downwards. Yeah? And there's a little bit more over here I want to do. I know some of this is going to drop. Yeah? Pull upwards if you prefer. Doesn't matter. Just want to catch some of those in one line. Just a few. Oh, sorry, come on in then. Come and have a look. Yeah, my synthetic brush. Yeah. If you've got a muddy mop, or Mundy mop, sorry, you can use that if you prefer. For any of you who don't know what one of them is, it's a really, really soft brush. Anyway, I'm going to clean that green out of this brush that I used earlier. Just going to pinch that out of that thing. That should make it nice. It's a synthetic brush. Yeah, and that is now clean enough to just gently, just touch some of these. Just drag them, and you can drag them left or right. Just a little bit, and it should, hopefully, start making them shimmer like water does. Yeah, does that make sense? Yeah, just make sure it's down. Just a little bit, I just want to fade the edges a little bit. Just gently tapping these. Just blending them ever so slightly. By all means, if there's a bit too much paint there, you can put them down. And then go across. There's a hair, let's go with that. And another hair. My cat, just because it's cooler in my studio, just decided to live in there. So now everything's covered in hair. Oh. Yeah. I'm just going to flatten those out, or dragging them down or up. You can go up a bit if you want. Just knocking some of that down. Cat hair everywhere. Apologies if anyone's allergic to cats. Good timing. Comedic perfection. Yep. So we knock some of that down. This might take multiple layers. I didn't do this over one sitting when I painted it. It was done over several. You can also do those lines if you like them, if you want to add more, with that rigger brush. So that rigger brush will do these for you as well. And the more lines you put down here, just showing you, don't have to use the fan brush. This is just a slower way of doing it, but totally possible. Totally possible. So there's the yellow, and rolling it into a point, and then you're just dragging down some of these, and they don't have to be exactly straight, because they wouldn't be, they'll be wiggly and all sorts of things. If you want to add some more, you just change the colour a little bit. Strengthen some of that up maybe. There we go. Just a little bit, goes a long way. Strengthen up that front edge. Yep. There's no wrong or right way here, it's just whatever brush or whatever technique makes the effect you want. That's what you're trying to do. So if you come up with something else, I'd love to hear about it. If you made any of those fugly brushes, that will do this as well. It'll do these very well. It's about breaking those lines up, making that water shine. You all okay? Yeah? Just making sure. Yep. You can use your synthetic brush to then just knock some of that out of the water. By all means, just lay it down flatter. If you need some of it to become more horizontal, you can do that as well. Just gently, little bit, not too much. Left and right, like water would do. Yep, you're right. Oh, you're concentrating hard. You can always, if you haven't made this bit dark enough, you can always go back in and add more phthalo green. Absolutely, please do. You can do it tomorrow if you like. Doesn't make any difference, I promise you. Right, let's put some more white leaves in here though. So, liquid, original, liquid, impasto on the rigger brush. A little bit more white, get closer towards white. Still yellow. Still yellow. There it is. Flattening that brush out, it depends however you can make that as thin as possible. A little bit whiter, a little more white. This is cadmium yellow and titanium white and the impasto medium, making it a little bit thicker. And I'm going to put in some more of these white lines in here. Just where the water line is and where all the little debris bits are. Trying to keep them as vertical as you can. Sorry, horizontal. They're not vertical. We play with that one earlier. No, you're right. You're right. You know what I meant. There you go. I'm just going to drag this along here a little bit. All right from here. That's good. It's not coming off, add some more liquid to that. Just thin down a little bit. Don't want to miss your tea break, but how long we got? 4 minutes. Right, we need to finish it. No, we don't. We don't need to finish this till. Okay, yeah, so I'm just giving this a little bit of highlights, some little groups of leaves perhaps, some water surface things. Trying to break it up a little bit. And this is the same, exactly the same stuff we're going to use. Because you put some texture on here, right? Well, if I now pick up that brighter colour, and I do, and you're thinking of these leaves as little fingers that are hanging down, yeah? Some of them are a little bit curly, but they're all pretty much doing a V shape, or so. Where should we start? Over here. So on the back of this, I'm doing some thicker leaves. I'm going to hit and highlight some of that lovely area. Some I'm pulling one way, some I'm pulling another. But only little sharp things. In yellow, yeah. In a brighter colour than we've been putting down. Some of them can come out. It does, good. Little tiny short, sharp marks. I'm afraid I can't make this any bigger on the screen for you. But some go one way, some go the other. And if it's not coming off the brush, more paint. And if you don't, maybe you don't want to do this with a rigger. This is the rigger. This is the slow way of doing this. Yeah. This is 12 hours of work right here. Yeah. And all we're doing is highlighting on this one, right? But you are now giving it the highlights. So you can go away and just keep painting for hours and hours. From a distance, it begins to look like leaves. Right? You can do this with, if you didn't have the rigger, and you had a pointed round. Pointed round will do exactly the same thing.
Yeah, just like that, yeah.
Yeah, pointed round, sorry, I should have said. Pointed round does this. I'll get right back up. So you don't want too much control here, but that texture you put down, you should be able to just lay some of this over, and it will pick it up. It will. You can roll this off, just give it a little flick. You're only looking to highlight some of the leaves that are in the light. As long as you keep it broken, it'll look right. I want to give the idea, I'm not trying to repaint nature. Someone already did that for us. I don't know who it was, by the way. I'm not religious, but someone did it and I appreciate it. Something did it. Or maybe no one did it. Let's not go there. Leave it. Yeah, so your rigger can do it, that's no problem at all. Or you make one of those lovely fugly brushes, or fan brush. So this will do it, but I'm going to drag it, because of the way I want the leaves, this will drag it far quicker, and random. And I'm twisting the brush every now and again, and put it this way, and it will just create some of those different angles, leaves. And this is just a quicker way. I'm not saying I'd still go in there and do some of those thousands of little marks, just because it's worth it. There we go. Where else we want some? Some here. A few more leaves this way. There we go. It just breaks up some of those lines that we've got. Some more here, perhaps. Change the colour, maybe. Slightly different colour. What do they say? Variation is the spice of life. Is that the right saying?
Variety.
Variety. That's even better. We'll use yours. So much better than mine. There we go. So, yeah, so we've got some different lines, broken texture. Look at that. I'm just going to do it for me. Because we already textured that, it's also just picking up what we'd already put down. Just the ends of that is lovely. Anyone want to try one of these? You're more than welcome to have a go. No problem. Just to add that variety in there, you can go for the orange and yellow and lime, make it a bit more orange in there if you like. A little bit of liquid, impasto. Just help bulk up that colour. So when you lay your marks down, don't keep fussing over them. Just put them in. There you go. You can twist the brush a little bit and just pick up. It's going to touch. Pick up on top of those lines you've already got. Just at the ends, I just want to give the idea that they're individual leaves rather than a straight line. I'm breaking them up. So this bit over here, I know we haven't done anything up in this top corner. There you go. And I'm twisting that brush, and it's just, I'm just going to follow it down a little way. I'll start giving you the idea. I might have another couple of these brushes if anyone else wants to have a go. This is just a really cheating way rather than just randomly making your marks with a single brush. Now a very random. Right? Try it. Are you okay? Yeah. It's worth making these horrible brushes, and that TV's gone for me. What's it doing to me? turn it from auto shut off. If I hit video mode, maybe it will behave. Maybe it'll stay live in video mode. Sorry, we were up here, weren't we? Let's do it over it. There we go. I'm going to drag some of that way. Little marks. Might be a bit lighter over that corner, but it's okay. We can always make some darker green. Let's do that. I'm going to use my palette knife on the brush for that. So, ultramarine blue into some of that might work. A bit of cad yellow. A bit too dark. More yellow. There we go. Lovely. There's a green. There's a green. That'll do. Not going to mix it particularly well. That'll do. Bit more impasto medium. Bit of liquid. There we go. A bit more cad in there. And there we go. Let's put some darks in there. There we go. I'm twisting that brush, and sometimes they go in this way and sometimes they go in the other. They're trying to either aim downwards, where you get some rogues who want to go in a completely different way, and that's nice. It's dark right here, just some of them in there. It'll make that stand out. Over here especially, where I've got a hole in this canopy. Just a little bit sweeping. I'm not tight up on this brush at all. I'm not like here. Although you can totally do this and it'll give you more precise lines. I'm trying to go fast today for you guys, so you guys can see some stuff. Hopefully you're seeing stuff. Hopefully you've seen something you're like, oh, I can use that elsewhere. Next time I come to doing grass, I might try that. Maybe that's the technique I'm after. Just another way of doing things. More things you know, more of an arsenal you've got, for when you go painting like that. Yeah. Yep, there we go. Just a different shade of green. But as I'm running it down, it's picking up some of that texture we put down last week. And I do encourage you to go back over this. If you're enjoying this painting, that is, you can go back and keep layering it. You can make this as deep and as dark as you want, and then lighten the other bits again. You keep running through the light and the dark, and eventually you'll get that broken effect this tree has. Just trying to paint each individual leaves is insane. We're trying to capture the idea of them. You can absolutely do that, by the way. There's your fine art, photography-esque, photorealism, that's the right word. Something that nice chap Andrew Tischler does extremely well. So if you like fine detail, I would say probably follow Andrew Tischler. If you want to join the Tisch Academy, I've got a code here, 30% off for your first 3 months. And I think it's about 7 to maybe 30 days free trial anyway. Have a look, see if it's for you. If you like fine detail, he's very good. And if you're an outdoor painter, he's got Joe Parquet joining him. very soon. He's already done some live streams with him, which is lovely. Real nice tips for playing out in the library, really good. But that's enough sales pitch. You do get me 30% off as well, so I don't mind. Where you've got your wet paint already, you can drag one of these like fugly brushes, or if you're using something else, and you just try to sculpt into that wet paint. We already discussed my phobia on this.
Need to go to settings.
Yeah. Branch up here and make it darker because made it too light. We're just fracturing these marks. And if you've come down too low, maybe on some of these areas, and you want to push it back up, you just take the background colour. You can see what it was. You make your colour that's close to it, and you can bring it back up again. You just bring it back up, and there's you now shorten like whatever's going on back there. There you go. You can take it back up again. Maybe you didn't want it that long. Maybe there's some bits, I don't know, over here. You're like, oh, I'll tell you what, let's thin them out a little bit. Just take the background colour, remix the background colour, and bring it back up. You can do that. It's your painting, right? Yeah. I agree. Hundreds of thousands of leaves. Right? What am I doing? Am I doing something else? I was just breaking up some of those leaves. Is that okay? Yep. Let's put a bit, well, you don't have to. If you like it, I would like a bit of this greenery here. You do this with a fan brush again. If you want to go back, if you don't remember how to do that, use a fan brush instead. In some green, blue, ultramarine blue, some yellow. Smash that into that. Yep. And I want these just here. Just here, coming down the trunk. There we go. Some of that. This thicker paint will sit on top of the brown. If it isn't showing up, make the colour a slightly brighter colour maybe. There you go. There it goes. There it goes. Just like that. Either with the script liner, liquid, the cat yellow, maybe a little bit of blue in there just to change the colour a little bit. Highlight one side perhaps, some of those, more of those V's. It's not coming out with more paint. Doesn't need many to make it look like there's loads there. You can always, yeah, it's not coming off one way, try the other. I'm going to push up on that one, a little bit of a block, give it a tail. Yep. Change the colour maybe, give it a different colour for the other side. Some of those leaves that aren't catching quite the same light. More yellow. Change the colour again a bit. So some of these need a little bit more. Yeah. Just touching the canvas with the tip of that brush. Just make them random, like change the colour, slightly different sizes. Some more back here, there's something else I just want to give it some highlights, the sun's getting through there. Little V's. Is everybody okay? Yeah? If you've got any of those other different colour greens, you can drop some of them a little bit streaky in the bottom of this. Just you're using the absolute tip of the brush. Make it random, that's alright, that's fine. Just where you're dropping those is where the canopy above you is. If you've got it very white on one side, you might want to go up and just add some more highlights to the top. All these willow leaves run off of a single vine. I think willows are so lovely as a tree. And if you want to be a bit more orange, you want to use that. Fancy the orange, I've just mixed in some of the Indian yellow into that. Going to do exactly the same. Put it down a bit so it sticks. And then in here. Just want to break some of that green up that we put down before last week. Bit of white in there, it's like a really light colour. How's it going, everybody? I didn't say it was easy, did I? No. And it isn't. No. Try something.
It's the journey.
Try that. Look at that all little guy. Put some more paint in it. I know. But that's a good one. I killed it. A good one. Yeah, that's a rosemary and coke fan brush. I feel bad. I killed that one. Yeah, I might say. But you can see that you just keep putting down different angles. Yeah, just little tiny marks. That's what you're after. And eventually that build up, and I never said it would be today, that build up, you got the technique, it's the same for fur. It's about building up the layers and the layers, and you can keep going and wow. You keep going until you're like, I can't make any more brush marks. The next brush mark I make is going to mess it up. That's when you stop. Yeah? Stop there. When I start putting down brush marks that are messing it up, that's when I go, okay, I've reached my limit this time. I'll come back and have another go on the next one. That's when I know when to stop. When that brush mark starts going down, I'm going, hang on, that's not right. That's when I stop. Oh, so quiet again. You're concentrating. Is it helping? Are you getting the idea of this? This is helping him. I didn't want to. No, okay. And have you enjoyed your 4 weeks with me?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Love that. Thank you very much.
When are you coming back?
Well, as long as you want me to come back, I'll come back. No problem. I don't think I should be your portrait guide, I'll be honest. I think you've already got some people in here who probably do it better. Certainly draw better than I do. Yep. And then you've got it loaded. One little thing, there we go. And if you just put it down, and it will pick up what we did last week, we'll actually highlight some of the grass. I'm just trying to drag this just off the top a little bit. And it'll add new layers for me. Just a little bit. Make it a little bit lighter maybe. Maybe that's what I need to do. Add a little bit of white. This will probably show up better for you. There you go. And I've just gently gently lifting this up, and it's catching those lines we put on last week again. That's exactly how we put them down. We just use the corner of a brush if you want. Highlight some of that grass. Make it stand upright though. Some of it bends over, but this is fairly short grass in here. There you go, just adding something else to it. Your fugly brush, that one I gave you earlier. You've got one still. That you can either pull upwards, and just highlight a few of these little lines. Don't pull it up very high. Just exactly the same, just a little bit. You can make it go in different directions if you want. You can actually pull down on it or change your colour. Have a different colour going on here every now and again. There you go. Maybe some light snuck around that side of that tree. You're just highlighting some of them in a different green. If you're already dark, go lighter. If you're light, go darker. There's no problem. You just want to gently touch some of the tops of that grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas the oxide is a little closer. But that's personal choice. You do yours, greens, that's fine. Yeah. And as the grass gets towards you, it'll be darker and lighter all at the same time. Yeah. Because it's the nearest thing to you. You'll have the darkest darks right here. So maybe some of that phthalo green. You'll have some of that at the bottom of this. Just there. And also the brightest yellows, cabin yellow, whatever green you've got, and there is a bit more ultramarine, less toxic green. And as they come forward, they'll be longer. There's some more green as well. Yeah. They'll be longest at this bit here. You can even use the rigger brush if you want to use the rigger brush for grass. Just make sure it's green there. Yeah. Okay, so I've got a very thin mix of white here. Just thin it down with liquid and impasto medium as well if you want it. That'll work. I'm probably going over the ratio a little bit more than I should here. That's for certain. But if you want to put those water lines in, if you like this way of putting these water lines in, you can do it with a brush by all means. But there's a water line that's probably, and I'm using a palette knife, right in there. You can use the palette knife for that bit there as well if you want. Just keep it straight. Lay down. That's what I'm sort of doing now. Is, I've laid down some water lines, and you can put on the leaves. I'm going to say use the rigger brush. So you've got your greens, you've got loads of these, quite thick paint, and I'm just going to lay this down on there. So you've got a couple of leaves laying in your water, and they're random. Let's put some over here. Just trying to keep the bottoms of them a little bit flat because they're laying down. You can change the colour of these, no problem at all. And it is about being random. You sort of have to switch your brain off a bit and don't consciously think where these are going. I know. I didn't say this bit was easy. Switching your brain off. Change the colour of these by all means, so the colour. Does that start looking like the leaves are laying on top of the water rather than it does? Okay. There you go. Because I'm putting something across what's behind it lays down flat. Sneaky, isn't it? It is sneaky. Smaller leaves, as they go back, will have littler leaves, so just a little tiny dash, by all means. And if your water got a little bit out of hand or something like that, phthalo green, just dragged under here, gives some of those water lines a dimension, because it's now got a shadow. And I'm dragging them across it. It's just phthalo green again. In whatever brush I've got handy. Just a little shadow under some of those ripples, perhaps. There you go. And across those. Lovely folks, okay. Thank you very much. If there's any questions I can help you with right now, now's the time to ask me. You're welcome to. I showed you some techniques. You can keep playing when you go home, weeks, months, years, whatever you want to do. And hopefully I'll give you something you haven't seen before. You can go, hey, there's a different way around, I can think of that way. Or, I didn't like that, I'm not using that way, at least you know. Yeah, this took me more than 5 hours to make originally. So the level of detail isn't going to be quite the same as this one. And then this one goes even more detailed and more time. Yeah. So it's up to you how much time you want to put into these. Completely. It's how crazy you want to get. Yeah. But thank you very much. You've been absolutely marvellous. If no one's got any questions, no. Thank you so much. You've been absolutely wonderful. Absolutely.